that's about it. It looks like this is the end of the series. Like I figured that there was gonna be maybe a part two or a continuation. I mean, there could always be a part two, but I mean, I don't know about it now. And it's a very weird chapter when you think about it. When you think about how this kind of all got laid out. Oh, my music stopped right as I started this one second. Let me pull back and get some of this music. There we go. I like one song to play in all my videos, and I can't even get that all set up properly. Anyway, as it were, like the end of the last chapter, kind of like set out, and everybody just gonna seem to get back to their lives and get into like a pretty comfortable place. And this last chapter begins. Somebody, you got a lot of look-alike characters in there. I'm not gonna really go about their names because I mean it's the very end. There's no point in me really kind of like memorizing all their names. It's easily just okay. Yeah, it's this character, because it looks like they're everybody reincarnated. And when you think about this last chapter, like it's all just people in the modern day. That's all these different characters reincarnated doing different things, and it personally, like when I first was like, okay, well maybe it's just setting up something for maybe a part two or whatnot, because it'd be like, well, why are you doing some weird stuff set up in the future? But then I realized this is exactly what the series was like. All the characters were driving for, like everything that they wanted. They wanted to create like a more peaceful world and place where it didn't have all the demons going around eating and killing people. And I think showing like the future and showing modern society where they don't have to live in this fear of the demons is really like a super well and worth way to end it, because it's just showing this kind of like setup and this like city structure and society, and just like how all these guys are all living. And it's only able to be like this is because all the people that ended up sacrificing themselves for the future. They were they didn't mind dying if it meant making a better future for everybody else and doing all these nice things. And there was like a part in like the in the chapter where they're like saying like they say like a really good people get reincarnated at some point in their life after death. And I would have liked to see some of the like big bad characters. And I'm just like looking through, and you see like obviously the main one that we see in the first chapter. You see like reincarnated Zenitsu. You see Rengoku, Tanjiro, Nezuko. I was just like going on for like seeing if there were any like versions of like even some of the nicer villains that kind of got screwed over, but still were very likable as villains. You could see some of their better sides, like Akaza, a bit Kokushibo, Gyotaro, just any of those guys. I didn't see any going through here. Maybe I just missed them, and somebody else will see them. Like even so, they had the Izui and he wasn't a bad guy, but you even had like Sanemi and stuff, and Genya, and just like you had a bunch of like the demon slayers, but I don't think I saw any of the demons that were being reincarnated. I guess like if it's only good people, then then it would make sense of why you don't see any of them. But I think it would have been really nice to see some of them just kind of like reincarnated, living a better life, and it's like in this next life they're much more set at being peaceful, and they're released from that whole demon life and all the like the ruin and murder and stuff that they brought. But I don't know. I think it was a really nice way to end the series, just because of really what I think showing just like a carefree modern society really represented. Also, there was that nice thing with the like the longest living person like at the time in Japan was one of the Ubuyashikis, based off of the fact that until they killed Muzan, they were only going to live to be like in their like late 20s to 30s era. Like they were known for not living very long. I don't know. I always just found that to be like a really interesting aspect, because it was always like a weird thing. I don't think I talked about it much, because it was like, well, how do they get set up to where they're cursed to kind of do that, live like that? Was it something I don't remember if it was something that Muzan did to like one of their family members. I'd have to go back and look, but I don't know. I don't have a lot to say about the end of this chapter, because for the most part, this last chapter was really just kind of showing all the characters in reincarnated as their modern life. There was a really nice last panel, and it showed like a picture with Tanjiro's earrings, and it just showed like all the people like post after defeating Muzan, everybody that died or everybody that lived, and just showing like all of them as they're celebrating victory and stuff. But like I said, it's more of like what I think what this chapter represents rather than what happens in the chapter. I don't know. Other than that, like that's all I really had to say about it. Like it's like a weird wrap up chapter because none of the characters that we see are characters that you go through the series invested in, so you don't really have a whole lot to say when it comes to that. But at the same time, it's like, well then what do I have to really say when I want to talk about the chapter itself? And I think it just comes down to, like I said, that oh yeah, we're gonna talk about just what this chapter is supposed to kind of really like tell for us, what it represents, and what we as the readers are going to be kind of like dealt with and given out to. But anyway, other than that though, comment below, tell me your thoughts are about this, and tell me like how you thought the series like ended and how you thought the series was. I thought it was still pretty good overall. I still kind of stand by my statement of like I didn't really like Muzan as the final villain. I thought like what he would kind of represented. I think he was supposed to represent more of like the idea for the demons rather than as an individual. I thought that was, at least from what I got, what was more set up. But personally, I liked Kokushibo a lot more, and I'm still really confused on the idea of like if this is the end, like there's no continuation, there's nothing to kind of like, oh yeah, some demons like waited out and they're going to bring back the demons and they've been waiting for whatever reason. And then other than that, I still like wonder what the reason was that like why introduce the thing about the demons being able to evolve on like the same plane as Muzan when they get high enough level. I don't know. It's not a big thing. It's more of just more, it's more of like me being like, well, why did they introduce this? Like the author wasn't going to do anything with it. I don't know. Either way, comment below, thumbs up the video, friend the like button, subscribe button. Really appreciate it, and really check out my videos. And other than that, I appreciate everyone who's already subscribed. Thank you for listening. Bye.